On tonight's Pacific Storyland, we take you to Northeast Portland and back in time a little. The city's jazz scene has changed over the years, but in many ways, it's stronger than ever. Catherine Cook and photographer Ken McCormick bring us the music and the memories.
A sweet melody floats on an early spring breeze, suspended in rare Northeast Portland air, and maybe in time. This night, a dwindling few may know, could have been any night in this corner of the city 60 years ago. A time when jazz and soul, headlined and fostered by black musicians, wasn't just something Portland had. It was something this city was known for.
You know, it's so far back and so storied that I couldn't even give it justice. But I would encourage people to go find out.
A nudge toward education by teacher Lionel Clay. On this evening, he and others are raising money for the Woodlawn Elementary School PTA. It's jazz night at the Village Ballroom.
Well, music is part of our community.
A lot of it started in the albino community.
Calvin Walker knows that firsthand. At just 12 years old, the singer and producer became part of it. He's now in the Oregon Music Hall of Fame. A few years back, Walker co-founded the Albina Music Trust. It's a community archive dedicated to restoring Portland's black musical culture. It contains thousands of photos, videos, and music, all bound by a troubling thread.
As sad as it seems, at one time we were a segregated society, right? And so really what we've wanted to highlight was the fact that when people are left to their own devices, they can be very, very creative.
We gotta find a way. It was soul-shaking music, and it had an epicenter, the corner of North Vancouver Avenue and Tillamook Street. This is where the Cotton Club once stood. It was one of many black-owned businesses that thrived here in the 1960s. The jazz and soul hotspot drew the likes of Etta James and Sammy Davis Jr. A big reason why was Mr. Paul Knowles.
Friends, we're in the presence of a local legend. Let's give it up for Mr. Knowles.
Knowles owned the Cotton Club until 1970, then opened several other businesses. To this day, many still call him by his nickname, the mayor of Northeast Portland.
I was 92, I had things to do.
If you couldn't tell, he's guest of honor.
Now I'm 93 and I got places to be.
Knowles loves to reminisce, but he doesn't live in the past. He can't.
The neighborhood has changed. All the people that used to live in the neighborhood was forced out, and it wouldn't be the same if the Cotton Club was there now.
But the music, the jazz, is still here if you look for it.
There isn't as many places to play than like there used to be, you know, but it still doesn't take away from like what is here.
Charlie Brown III is part of Portland's next generation of jazz musicians. He keeps an eye on the future and an ear on the past.
Just always find ways for myself to honor and respect the legacy, but also push the boundaries and the envelopes of our generation's music and what it sounds like.
Sometimes it sounds a little chaotic if things really go their way.
You know, the musicians that's coming up now, it's just unbelievable what they're doing.
This ain't something I thought I would say, and your knocking will make my mind change.
That love is not lost on these voices.
Thank you so much for having us, and oh, you gorgeous man. I just can't do it again.
Tahira Memory is a second-generation Portland jazz musician. Growing up, she learned from just about every music legend alive.
I think I try to come to these spaces and pour into them not just what I've got, but whatever I was given.
You wouldn't let me in, it was just so hard.
Portland's music scene is different than it was all those decades ago. But that's not a bad thing, if you ask Tahira, or those who come here to soak it in.
It is the epitome of intimacy in music here in Portland. And I think people want that. The arena is nice, but it's you come to Portland, you're going to get some really good food and you're going to be able to hear some good music most nights of the week.
Moving through you into a dream.
And the music won't stop with this generation.
Continue to support live music, and in all forms of it, not just jazz.
As long as people are listening.
Just live music is the thing that keeps our communities and stuff like with a heartbeat to it.
In Northeast Portland,
Thank you. Alex Milstead on the keys and bass.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
What a remarkable history. What a remarkable history to the present day. Thanks to Catherine and Ken for that great story. Now, if you have an idea for Pacific Storyland, Catherine would love to hear from you. You can text her at 503-226-5088 or send an email to pacificstoryland@kgw.com.